Στο συγκεκριμένο θέμα αυτό που θα προσπαθήσουμε να κάνουμε είναι να ασχοληθούμε ελάχιστα και ως μια αρχή για κάποιο μετέπειτα βίντεο με την προσπάθεια να δημιουργήσουμε ένα πιο ρεαλιστικό, μεγαλύτερο χώρο από τον πραγματικό μέσα στον οποίο έχουν ηχογραφηθεί τα συγκεκριμένα τύμπανα. Έχει πολύ ενδιαφέρον αυτό το θέμα, γιατί όντως μπορούμε να κάνουμε πολλά πράγματα με ένα ζευγάρι μικρόφωνα, ακόμη και αν είναι ηχογραφημένα σε έναν μικρό χώρο χωρίς ιδιαίτερη αντίχηση και προσωπικότητα, αν θέλουμε, θα μπορούσαμε να πούμε, στον ήχο. Αυτό που θα κάνουμε θα είναι να προσπαθήσουμε να δημιουργήσουμε ένα τεχνητό mid-side στέρεο ζευγάρι, το οποίο θα πετύχουμε χρησιμοποιώντας τα ίδια μικρόφωνα, δημιουργώντας κάποια αντίγραφα και αντιστρέφοντας τη φάση, με τη δυναμική επεξεργασία που είναι πολύ σημαντικός παράγοντας και με την προσθήκη τεχνητής αντίχησης, ώστε να συμπληρώσουμε αυτό που μας λείπει από τα υπάρχοντα μικρόφωνα. Ας δούμε πώς θα το κάνουμε αυτό.
So let's see how we can create a more convincing ambience for a drum kit. So first of all, let's see what we've done so far. Now let's add the room mics. They have a pretty cool sound and certainly add an ambience to the whole mix. What we're going to try to do is to create a much more larger space illusion. So what we're going to do is first of all mute the original room tracks, then take the left track and duplicate it to another track, inverting its polarity. We're going to take advantage of the ribbon mics used as ambience and recreate an almost artificial mid-side setup. So now we have two identical tracks, panned hard left and right, the one with inverse polarity, using the same EQ curve on both, a gentle roll-off on the higher frequency, and a high-pass filter for a smoother overall frequency response and sound. We use an auxiliary send from both channels to feed an impulse response reverberator with a medium room preset, adding some natural early fractions and ambience decay to the original sound. We create a bass track, a group track, where we route all our room tracks, while on the reverb return track we use the same high frequency roll-off to smoothen a little each response. Now let's see what we'll be using as a center track. We're actually going to use the original room tracks hard panned left and right, routed to the same stereo group and feeding the same reverberator with a slight high frequency roll-off, but with the lower frequency response left untouched. So let's hear first the side components of our room sound. We can clearly hear the phase cancellation between the left and right tracks. Let's bypass the signal chain in the stereo group, including a couple of compressors and a tape emulation. And we have definitely a sound reminding the side elements of a mid-side setup. Okay, so now let's add the original room tracks and start working on our new ambience sound. So now we have a much more solid center. We can fine-tune the balance and get a wider or more centered stereo image. So let's move now to our final stage, which is the stereo bass processing of the room sound. First in the row we have a stereo compressor smashing a bit the sound and the initial transients, revealing the ambience and bringing forward the room sound. With the UBK1 we can control the amount of compression as a wet-dry balance. Next we move on to our second compressor, the PSP Vintage Warmer, acting like a multiband compressor and enhancing the lower, mid and low end of the room sound of the drum kit. Finally, we move to a tape emulation plugin, smoothing up the higher frequency and gluing things together. Let's listen it in the mix now. So let's hear now the whole mix with our room sound soloed and bypassed to make comparisons. Once again we can fine-tune the balance to our taste, from a slight ambience for the drum kit to a completely roomy sound.